so crazy, and it just, but I just continue to pray and hope for the best and try to keep my husband positive and strong because I know it's tough for him. Like, he's never been to jail, it's this long, so it's just crazy, and we're trying, I don't know where you want me to start. You tell me.
Well, all right, that's fine. Well, first of all, where is he right now?
So right now he's being detained in Dartmouth, Mass. At the Bristol County Jail. Okay. And actually he should be in the ICE building, but because they have a separate section for ICE detainees. Yeah. But I guess due to overflow, they put him in just regular jail. I guess they made a makeshift section, but it still follows like the same rules as the jail as opposed to the ICE. And he's doing all right. I mean, it's not really violent or people being aggressive, but there's lockdown. So he's like level 3, right? So there's lockdown most of the day. He gets about 3 times a day to come out during rec. And he calls me usually every time, which is awesome. Yep. And I'm thankful for that because I at least get to speak with him every day. And then I do go out every Sunday to go visit him. I haven't taken my boys because I really don't want to have them go through that and see him like that if they don't have to. So, they haven't asked to go see him, and I'm hoping that they don't, but they talk to him regularly on the phone, so that's a good thing. But, he's out in Dartmouth, which is not terribly far. I'm thankful for that.
Right. I've been there once before when there were some people there protesting the separation of people like your husband. About a month or two ago, I was there.
Yeah, he did tell me that he saw some people outside protesting, and I'm like, I had no idea about it. Had I known, I would have been out there too.
Well, if I hear anything, I will let you know for sure. Because I think that's important. That we keep that. We need to let them know that it isn't right what's going on. So, how are you set right now financially? I know you had to GoFundMe.
Yeah, it's a struggle. We're doing what we can. I've been asking and borrowing for my family, but it's been tough. He losing his income was hard.
Oh, sure.
But I'm thankful. And it's so crazy because all of this happened like in the process of us purchasing a home.
I know.
So we had everything already in with the bank, and everything was being reviewed. He was detained on the 22nd of May, and then a little while after that, we found that, we already knew our close date was June 15th, but I had to take money that was for the house and put it towards his attorney, and just a whole bunch of scrambling last minute, getting paperwork and gift letters and documents. But I'm so thankful that everything went through. We were able to close last minute by the skin of our teeth, and we actually moved this past Friday to Johnston.
Right.
So, not far.
Yeah. No, but that's great that the house didn't fall through, and if you can pull this together and get your husband back, you'll have your family back and can start doing that, right?
Exactly.
Oh, my goodness.
Exactly.
So where is so have you talked to the lawyer? I mean, first of all, I just want to make sure, like what we talk about in the phone call, we can, are you cool with me writing about this?
No, that's fine.
Okay, cool. I want to make sure that I'm not like blowing up any kind of legal case or things that are going on. I want to make sure you guys are that this story will help you, not hurt you, is what I want to have.
Right, and that was my biggest concern because I've obviously never dealt with this before.
Of course.
So I don't know what's okay to do, what's not okay to do. You can't ruffle feathers here. You got to be careful there. You know what I mean? So I did consult with my attorney, and she said that, and this was a while ago. She's the one that had me hold off. Because what we were doing was originally we had to file an appeal. So the attorney put in the appeal with the judge who granted the motion for removal. Mm-hmm. And we did that, and the judge came back, denied the motion to reopen the case.
Oh, wow.
And basically it said that the removal was still in full force and effect. So the next step was for us to file an appeal with the Board of Immigrations. So my attorney prepared it all, and she's like, I want you to hold off until we get this in at least with the Board of Immigration,
right,
so that that part is done and we don't have any issues. So she actually, for whatever reason, she said it was divine intervention, held off on sending the appeal. This was like the weekend before the 4th of July, so it was supposed to be in Virginia at the Board of Immigration's Appeals on the Monday right before the 4th of July. And she called me and let me know she did not file it, and went back to her office and looked at this case called Pereira versus Sessions, which I guess the Supreme Court recently ruled on. I don't know if you've heard about it.
I haven't, but I'll look it up.
Yeah, definitely look it up. And it's very similar to my husband's case, where the person was issued a notice to appear by immigration, which is the documentation that you get once they bring charges up on you, and they set a hearing for you. The notice to appear should have the hearing, but this guy did not have a date or a time or anything. It said we would contact you. So the immigration court, he went his way. Immigration court a little while later started sending letters to his address with the date of the hearing, and the letters were being returned to sender because it was undeliverable. The guy was no longer living there.
Right.
So the judge ended up issuing a order of removal, and I guess they just floated up all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled basically that they can't issue an NTA without it having a date, a time, or anything on that, or anything like that.
Right.
So, and this is brand new. Like my attorney told me the day that the Supreme Court ruled on this, which I believe the 21st of June, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
And that's the same day that my husband's motion to reopen was denied by the judge.
Interesting.
So it was brand new, and she was like, when she read that, she immediately pulled up my husband's notice to appear, which they say he was served at. We ended up coming back from a cruise, and immigration pulled him at. Customs and immigration pulled him, and that's when they served him, supposedly, the notice to appear. He doesn't recall getting it, but that's neither here nor there, because ultimately it is in the court files. But the notice to appear has no date, no time, no,
right.
place on it. So when she saw that, she immediately wrote up another motion,
right.
to cancel the removal. And she said the good thing about her not sending off the appeal to the Board of Immigration, she said had she sent off the appeal, it would have been out of the judge's hands. And
right.
The judge is the only one that can make the decision on this right now.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of where we are right now. We are waiting to hear back from the judge on that. We're praying that he is a little bit more lenient than he was the first time.
Sure.
And we'll go with that ruling with the Supreme Court. So I pray that it's soon that we hear something. And
so this judge, he's a New Jersey judge?
Yeah, he's out in New Jersey,
right.
in Newark.
Newark. So that's a real pain. You have a judge in Newark. You have your husband in Massachusetts. You're in Rhode Island.
Right.
And does your husband have to be driven down there for court appearances?
No, he hasn't had any court appearances, because
Okay.
that's the thing. The judge is basically saying when the judge issued his order of removal, that was it.
Right.
He's like, he doesn't care. You're out of here. And the craziest part is my husband never even had a hearing with immigration.
Right.
He's been a green card holder since he was, I believe, 17 years old.
Right.
His dad actually, and another thing that we are actually looking into is my husband was telling me about some law, because, he's been in there reading the law books and
sure.
stuff, that states that, if you were under the age of 18 when either one or both of your parents were naturalized, then you would be considered a citizen. And he was. His dad was naturalized, and he was in his father's custody all of his life. And his dad was naturalized when he was only 17 years old. So that's another thing that, I did email my attorney to look into it and see, but I haven't heard back from her. She's actually supposed to be calling me tonight.
Okay.
But
do you have anybody else that you can go to for sort of legal advice or guidance here in Rhode Island?
I did actually actually obtain another attorney for him to try to help with the criminal side, the criminal case that immigration has on him.
Right.
And so I actually called him too, and waiting for him to hear back. So I have that one, and the other one is John McDonald.
Okay.
He's in Providence, Rhode Island.
Good. I don't know him offhand, but I also want to ask him, have you been in touch with any of the various groups in Rhode Island that help with this kind of thing? There's like AMOR, there's the Latino Policy Institute, which does Latino, but they also do a lot of immigration work, and I'm sure the people there wouldn't be adverse to helping.
No, I haven't heard of them.
Or how about the ACLU? Have you talked to them at all?
No, I haven't even, all of these names, but I'm writing it down. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll send it to you in an email, too, because I didn't want to reach out to any of these groups without your permission, and I didn't want it, again, but I know some of these people in these groups. The ACLU helped that woman, Lillian Calderon, who was taken here in Rhode Island, and she was up in Dartmouth for about a month, and then because of their help, they got her out, and they got her released back to her family. And so my hope would be to, reach out to them and get them to also put some public pressure on this and to maybe get, because I'll tell you this, when I first heard about the case and I was trying to figure out exactly under what circumstances your husband was taken, I was getting a real runaround at the governor's office. I was saying, how does somebody go in to get a motorcycle license and then get turned over to ICE in Rhode Island when the governor herself has said the state police in the state will not work with ICE?
Wow.
Right? So so I can't get an answer from her on that at all, and I couldn't get an answer from the DMV either. So do you mind if I ask you a few questions about that?
Sure.
So, to my knowledge, from reading the thing, your husband went to the DMV to get a motorcycle license.
Yeah, a motorcycle permit. Yeah.
A motorcycle permit, and then was run through whatever system they. And do you know who the officer or what kind of officer was on duty there?
You know what? Do you mind holding for 1 second?
No, not at all.
Look at the form that they gave me. 1 moment.
Yeah, sure.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, thank you.
Because they did give me a letter when I went to collect his personal items.
Yep.
At this place in Warwick where they took him first.
Yep, I know that place.
And the ICE agent basically told me that, they could see in the system that the letters that immigration was sending out to him with his hearing date, which had been pushed up from November of 2019 to February of 2018, were being returned to sender.
Right.
And that basically that's when the judge issued the order of removal and warrant for his arrest.
Right.
So the
It's not. I mean, don't sweat it. I mean, I'm not trying to put any pressure here. I was just interested because I wanted to know if it was a Cranston police officer or a state police officer or what level of officer was there.
Yep, I got it right here.
Oh, okay.
The suspect was detained by the Capitol Police.
Capitol Police.
Until the Rhode Island State Police took the subject into custody.
Okay, that's excellent. Thank you.
Yep.
And this was this warrant was it an ICE detainer or was it a criminal warrant?
It was the warrant was issued by ICE.
A warrant was issued by ICE.
To the fact that he did not appear.
Yep.
At the immigration hearing, so I guess immigration and ICE would be the same.
Okay, yeah, that's the same thing. Okay,
yeah.
Cool. So how are your kids doing?
I mean, they're doing well. They're really strong. Obviously, they're missing their dad a lot.
Yeah.
But, no tears. I have a 16-year-old and 11-year-old, and they're so strong. I'm pulling strength from them. I'm very surprised that they are doing so well, but I can definitely see the change in them. I feel like our family is not balanced. Their dad has been there forever.
Right.
I've been, for most of their lives, I have been the one that's been going to work, and dad has been staying home. My husband just recently started working like full time, just this past year. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's been here and there working in and out, but not consistently. I've been the one that's been going. So he does the picking up from school and dropping off to school and doctors and dentist appointments. And when my kids are in the hospital, he'll go and he'll be there with us. And it's been a lot on them, but they're good boys and they're strong. So.
Oh, I'm sure. And they're they're both boys, and all right, and so, and you're at least you have the house. You're in Johnston now, so that's good. And so we're waiting on various appeals. I'm trying to think of what kind of questions to ask, but I don't want.
No problem.
Yeah. Is there anything I should?
And I'm like that too.
Yeah.
If you have anything that you need to, I always follow up with emails anyway.
Okay.
So
Let's
forget stuff. So you can always email me or whatever.
All right. One thing I would love to have is maybe a picture of your husband, if it's okay to use that. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about that, but it would be helpful to put a face to the person. I know when Lillian was out, it was really good to have her picture and to be able to talk about it that way. I don't know if that's something you want to do. If not, I understand. I can use something else.
Yeah, I understand. I wouldn't mind. I mean, I don't do social media. I don't do any of those things.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of about it. But I would love to run it by my husband because ultimately it's his decision. I would leave that to him.
That's fine. I totally understand that. You also might want to talk to your lawyer too, just to be cool with it. You know what I mean? So
right, exactly.
I think the both. And what I would like to do is I'd like to write up what we talked about so far. I'll send it to you as an email. You can look at it. You can maybe other questions will occur to us, and we'll go back and forth 3 times. So just so that we know. And so we're not going to rush on this because I don't think there's any rush on it, right? I mean, is there a time period where you think where you'd like to have something out? Like you think, oh, this would be the time to do it, or would you like to wait? I mean, I want to do this to help you, like I said. So
right. Well, I honestly would love to just go ahead and do what we can do now because I need him home.
All right.
But my attorney's calling me tonight, and I'm gonna run it by her because she did already give me the okay to speak with whomever, journalists and things like that. So I just want to run it what we discussed by her before we just go forward with it.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So what I'll do, like I said, I won't rush it out. I will write it up. I will send it to you probably tomorrow morning, probably early afternoon, whatever. And then you can look at it, let me know what you think. And if you're cool, we could probably have something out by tomorrow evening or even tomorrow afternoon.
Move fast, huh?
It's all web work, so it's not like I have to worry about a printer or to get it on TV or anything. I put it up on the web. We spread it around social media a little bit, and we'll have a couple thousand people read it within a day or two. And that's mostly in Rhode Island. And also, what I will also do is I'll go through and I'll get you some names and numbers. My wife does some work on immigration through her church, and so she's got a lot of contacts. So I'll have her give me a bunch of good names and people to reach out to. So you'll have a list of phone numbers and a list of emails that you can reach out to and say, we need this kind of help, and
right.
I can definitely get you some of that help, and I think that would be important. And maybe
I agree. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And then we'll try to raise you. And and I just have to say, I thought Nerva LaFortune was really great about like reaching out and mediating this contact with us. And I just want to say she's been really good. And if there's anything if there's anything I can do, let me know, and we'll try to. So anyway, let's leave it there, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for your call.
Thank you so much. Have a great night.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Bye-bye.